Surfboards, I don't know, were a couple 100 pounds, if not more. They're 15, 16 feet long.
Yeah, that was a dramatic change for surfing. That made it so much more accessible.
So here you have Tom Blake, who has this amazing innovation of saying, let's hollow this board out, boring out hundreds of holes, and then he actually designs the hollow surfboard. But in addition to that, he also invented the fin, which allows us to turn our boards, and the leash, which allows us to be safely attached to our boards. And as it relates to safety, one of his most life-changing and life-saving inventions is that of the rescue torpedo, which is credited for helping lifeguards across the world save thousands upon thousands of lives to this day. When you watch Baywatch, for instance, you see the lifeguards running down the beach with that torpedo. That's his invention.
Another thing that he's known for that we didn't talk about was that he was a really good photographer. And he also created a housing for a camera that you can shoot in the water or even underwater.
Hello, my name is Ken Cole, psychologist, writer, and surfer.
And my name is John Rubarch, professional photographer, documentary film producer, and surfer.
And we're here to talk about our project called Surfing with Tom, a film about Thomas Edward Blake.
I grew up in California. I grew up surfing. Surfing's in my blood. He was like the prototype for surfers 40 years later, 50 years later, right? He lived to surf. Yep. He lived on the beach. And this is like in the 1920s.
Yeah. Here you have someone from Wisconsin who decides to, after meeting Duke, obviously, who goes out to Hawaii and is one of the first men, white men, to be accepted within that culture as a surfer. That was a sacred, sacred sport. And he found a way through his personality, through his honesty, I think, and through his respect of the Hawaiian people to not so much, I wouldn't say fit in, but at least be welcomed into that culture. And I think that's the very thing that compelled him maybe to leave. Out of all the things he's done, he's seen the world, he's met celebrities, Amelia Earhart, all this stuff going on. And then, like you just said, he comes back to Washburn.
He became disenchanted, I think, with what he created. And he moves back to Washburn, Wisconsin. Being in the limelight like he was for a while, then he becomes this sort of recluse in a way.
Here's a man, again, who's been with so many people and known for a period there, at least around the world, as a world champion swimmer, inventor, surfer. And then one thing that's consistent throughout his life is this sense of wanting maybe to be alone at least. There's something beautiful about that. The flip side is, what's it mean for someone to have done so much, but then at the age of 60 or 70, sleep in a station wagon at the end of a road? And surfing at the age of, I picked it up at the age of 30. Everything shifted for me. And I would not have discovered surfing. One, if I had lived in Hawaii, but also two, if someone had made it accessible for me. His innovations helped me find myself in many ways. The reason why we're doing a Kickstarter campaign is really because a project of this scope to really track in the course of one man's life over 92 years is no small feat. We need to go where he was. We need to go where he was born and travel the same roads and trails that he did, which involves travel out to California and also Hawaii, and ideally meeting those people that knew of Tom, or ideally knew him. And with the latter, it's going to be tough because those folks are in their early to mid and actually the late 90s. And we want to get there sooner than later.
Time is of the essence.
Without question, it is. It is. This is a truly unique American story that needs to be told.
He was a true pioneer.